What's up? How's it going, everyone? This is Patrick Jaguar, and the purpose for today's video is to do a kind of a course review and like a testimonial, basically, for a course I did back in September of 2017. And the course is called Unleashing Intuition. You can find out more about this at www.unleashingintuition.com. And this course is taught by a gentleman named Michael Jaco. So regular spelling for Michael, last name is spelled Jaco. He's got a good Facebook page, some cool information, videos to follow. And he's starting a new podcast with Mo Bedard of the GnosticWarrior.com, the Gnostic Warrior podcast. The new podcast is going to be called Transmuting. So that's Transmuting. And it's going to be a podcast all about transformation, about personal transformation. But anyway, let's get into Unleashing Intuition. So, what this course is about, you can guess it's about intuition. What is intuition? Well, the easiest way to put it is that intuition is kind of the quiet voice inside you. It's a lot quieter than your inner monologue, which is just your intellect just talking to itself over and over. Intuition's kind of that gut feeling. You know, it's when you don't know why, but you just know something, and when you follow it, you could say you basically you luck out. Something very fortuitous happens to you. When you don't follow it, you kick yourself for not doing so because you subject yourself to basically unwanted hassle and hardship. So the course Unleashing Intuition, it's all about getting in touch with that feeling and letting it be active in your life. But the first part of that is you need to slow down and quiet down enough to listen to it. And so that was the point of it. It was we spent 5 days out there. Michael runs the courses right now out in Lake Tahoe, California. And so of the 5 days, 2 days were in the classroom. It was sort of a seminar setup where you're learning the mental skills. You're learning how to meditate and how to get into the flow state, get your brain to that alpha wave pattern. And then the next 3 days were the intensive portion. So during the intensive, we spent time out on Lake Tahoe, out in kayaks. We hiked up Mount Talac, which is the one of the big mountains right next to the lake, and we spent some time hiking around in the woods, doing different things, doing some meditations out in nature. We did drum stalking, where you get blindfolded and you have to follow the sound of the drum. And sort of the paradox in that is the harder you try, the noisier you move through the woods, and the more things you bump into. So it's all about kind of doing more with less, and really just sort of letting go and getting in touch with basically your feelings. The way I look at it, your feelings, your emotions are your engine, and they propel you through life. And if you don't feel propelled and you feel like you're dragging, what I've found is you're usually not in touch with your emotions, and especially you're not in touch with your passion. And that was another big topic in the course, was really to listen inside yourself to find what's your passion, what are you interested in, what do you want to do, what do you want your life to look like. So that was something we really we spent some time on. And that was a big topic for me, because growing up, your passion, your dreams, all that stuff really took a back seat. I didn't have any adults to growing up that really embodied that. People were kind of slugging it out day to day, and for the most part. So as an adult, that's something I needed to learn, and I'm still in the process of learning. Um, and the funny thing about that was, I told Michael early on that I'd do this video. I told him I'd do a testimonial that he could, use if he wanted to use it, and here we are, almost a year and a half later. But it really took some time for me to, understand what the course meant to me, and what it meant for me going forward. It took a while for the changes to take place, but slowly but surely, I rearranged some things in my life, and I'm definitely enjoying it more. And leading up to that too, I'd been dealing with some PTSD and the accompanying anxiety, and going through that course, it really, people talk about the concept about how you're not your feelings, and you and your feelings are separate, but your feelings are pretty good about having you believe otherwise. Um, so it really helped me get a kind of a sense of detachment where I could step back from whatever situation I was in, and understand it a little better. Because one thing I really believe about emotions, especially your uncomfortable emotions, your negative emotions, your anxiety, your fear, your anger, your worry, they're telling you to do something. They want you to act. Um, what we typically do. We're kind of a pill popping society, and there's a pill for everything. So when we're not experiencing maximum pleasure and maximum giddiness, we think something's wrong. But you know so it's very counterintuitive. So really, when you feel uncomfortable, you want to go deeper into it and figure out what it's trying to tell you about your life, and what it wants you to do differently, what that feeling is telling you to do differently. So these were things I'd learned, on an intellectual level, that yeah, you're angry about something, you're anxious about something, it's telling you to act. I'd learned that intellectually, but Michael's course really helped me to put it into a context and really experience it. So I was definitely all the better for it. It was great to get out there in the wilderness there, and just in the peace and quiet. And it was good to see Michael after not seeing him for like 16 years. I first met him. I was a freshman at the Naval Academy. This is back in 2000. He was recovering from from injuries that he'd sustained in training with the SEAL teams, and he was sent to the academy for a few years to basically serve as a role model to us, to the student body. And so he did that. It was kind of a supervisory and kind of an administrative role. And then during the summer, he used to do training courses, and I did a training course that was sort of a kind of a preview of the whole naval special warfare community, the SEAL community, and we did a lot of really fun stuff, like rappelling and spy rigging and cast and recovery, and we did shooting. We did obstacle courses where you had to go through an obstacle and shoot, and and you're doing this, racing the clock. We did martial arts like hand-to-hand combat. We did a night maybe a couple night operations. Basically, it's like an infiltration exercise. Really cool stuff. So, back at the academy, where I first knew him, he was a really well-respected guy. The students they respected him, they liked him, and they really trusted him. He's got a really unique background. So these days, he's working in the realm of the new age, but he put in, I think, 24 years in the Navy, and all but 2 of those were as a Navy SEAL. And then after that, he went to work as doing security for the State Department and for the field officers for Central Intelligence. So he's tested all these intuitive skills in the most intense environments imaginable. So that's the way I see it. Is you know skills like that, if they really work, they're gonna work in some of the most intense environments you can imagine. So yeah, so I hadn't seen him in 16 years, and I think I did a search for him. I kind of one day I was like, I wonder how he's doing, and his company popped up, the website, the unleashingintuition.com, and I just had to do the course. It was really it really appealed to me. It was really interesting. So I went and booked it and flew out to Reno and caught the shuttle to Lake Tahoe. So I highly recommend it. And on top of everything else, what I learned in that course really helps me in my work. I'm an acupuncturist. I do a little fitness training with people, and I'm also a Vedic astrologer and an intuitive. So I learned things in that course that really kind of helped me, take a new look at my work and my approach to certain things, and definitely helped me to trust my intuition when I'm working with people. So I could go on, but I don't want to go on too much longer. So I hope everyone got something out of this, and definitely check out Michael's website. So that's www.unleashingintuition.com, and then the Transmuting podcast. And then you can check my site out. I'm at www.thecosmicalchemist.com, and then I'm also at www.lifespringhealing.com. So thanks for watching, and hope you got something out of this. And finally, at long last, Michael, here's your testimonial video that I promised. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you.